Drew MacEwen, State Senator for the 35th District, which is Kitsap, Mason, and Thurston County. We basically cover from Rochester in the south in Thurston County all the way up to Seebeck in Kitsap, and of course all of Mason County. Geographically, it's bigger than Rhode Island. Very rural district, and lots of natural resources in there from timber and shellfish, and of course we have a huge presence with the Navy, so a lot of military and shipyard civilian personnel throughout the district, and a lot of state workers as well. You know, representing a rural district, it's important that that voice is heard. And my predecessor, Senator Tim Sheldon, was always big on saying that the urban and rural divide, and that's real. You know, we obviously more than half of our state residents live in the greater King County area, and those voices are heard here often and frequently. And it's important that the rural voice gets heard. What works in the metro areas doesn't necessarily translate to the rural areas, and so that's always a focus for me, is to make sure that there's an understanding on what that real impact is on given legislation to the constituents I represent. But also, I'd really like to get the state back to fiscal responsibility and budgeting in a manner that recognizes there's two sides to the ledger, and you can't always just spend all the growth. You've got to set money aside, and you got to keep money aside for when the rainy days come. And if you don't have a rainy day fund, that puts the state in a tough position. And then the cuts that end up getting made are the most devastating ones. So we need to do a better job overall with our budgeting, and I really look forward to continuing to work on that and being a voice of reason there. And then also that we recognize, again, going back to that rural atmosphere, that growth needs to happen in the rural areas. Obviously, what we want to see in a rural area is different than what one might see in Tacoma or Seattle or Spokane, but growth is still important. And you know, there's a number of industries and businesses that we can have in the rural area that are beneficial to the state and have a lower cost of living. And so, again, making sure that those things are recognized, that we're providing the infrastructure to help that economic vitality continue in rural areas, is important to the overall state. I might not look like it, but I still play hockey. I've played that since I was a young kid. Love it. I played for the Bremerton Bulldogs. We like to say we won the World Championship in 2021. But it's a great release from everything else in life, because for 1 hour I'm just trying to survive. And so between the physical and the mental aspect of it, I thoroughly enjoy it. It's a great sport, and hope we continue to see it grow at the youth level with the Seattle Kraken here now. We're seeing a huge uplift in the sport, and I'd like to be a part of that. And again, hope we can help with the youth movement and having more and more play it. It's a wonderful game.